3.1. Plot points in a coordinate plane. The coordinate plane is formed by the intersection of a horizontal number line called the x-axis and a vertical number line called the y-axis. So here we have the coordinate plane. Where the x-axis intersects the y-axis at the origin 0, 0. So this brings us to the next vocab word, the point at which the x-axis and the y-axis meet, 0, 0. After the x-axis and the y-axis intersect, they are cut into 4 regions in which we call quadrants. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Counterclockwise. In order to pair is xy is each point on the coordinate plane. So here I have a point, -3, -2. This will be considered in order to pair. X, Y. So the first number will be called the x coordinate, and the second one, the y coordinate. If you're being asked to locate a point or describe the location of a point, you are to either label quadrant 1, 2, 3, or quadrant 4, or the x-axis, y-axis, or simply the origin if your given point is 0, 0. Guided practice. Name points in a coordinate plane. To name the point A, we need to first count 3 units to the right and then 2 units down, which makes 3, -2. For B, we would have to count from the origin 1 unit down. So that makes 0, -1. And for C, that would be 4 units to the right and 4 units up. So that would be 4, 4. And for D, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, -4 units to the left. And then 1, 2, 3 units up, so +3. And for E, 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right and 1 unit down, -1. And then for F, 1, 2, 3 units to the right and 0. G, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So -5 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 units up. Point H, 1, 2, 3, -3 units to the left, and then 2 units down, so -2. Point J, 1, 2, 3, 4, -4 units to the left, and then 1 unit down makes -1. And point K, -1 unit to the left, and 2 units up, -1, 2. Part B. Plot points in a coordinate plane and then describe the location of the point. So for the first point, A, we'll have to count -2 units to the left and then -5 units down. So it's about here. A, -2, -5. So this is located in quadrant 3. And point P, -3 units to the left, about here, and then 6 units up. So this point is here. P, -3, 6. So this would be located in quadrant 2. And then we have point B, 0, -4. So this would be B, 0, -4. And this is located on the y-axis. Part C. Graph a function with a given domain and then identify the range of the function. Okay, so I'm going to first make a table. I'm going to list my values or my input values for the domain. I'm going to find all my outputs. When x is -2, then y is -10. When x is -1, y is -7. When x is 0, y is -4. And then -1, and then 2. So therefore I can list my range. -10, -7, -4, -1, 2. And it needs to be in order from least to greatest. Now I can graph the points. So -2, -10 goes here. -1, -7, about here. And then 0, -4, 1, -1, 2, 2. Now, for this lesson, you don't need to connect the dots, so just leave the graph like that. And for this next one, I'm also going to go ahead and make a table of values or points. So my domain, -4, -2, 0, 2, 4. So when x is -4, your y value should be -10. When x is -2, your y value should be -7. When x is 0, your y value should be -4. When x is 2, your y value should be -1. When x is 4, your y value should be 2. And so I can list my range properly now. Okay, now I can plot my points. -4, -10. -2, -7, about here. 0, -4. 2, -1. 4, 2. Okay, and it should be fine. The table shows the record low temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit for Odessa, Texas, for each day in the first week of February. Explain how you know the table represents a function. Well, if you look at the table here, for every input, there is exactly one output. So the inputs or the days in February, the values don't repeat. So we can write, there is exactly one low temperature for each day in February. And then lastly, it asks you to graph the data from the table. So I'm gonna graph it now. 1, -8, 2, -11. So about here. 310, 4-8, 5-10, 6-9, 7-11. Okay, as you can see, the plots are very scattered. They're all over the place, so we call this a scatter plot. And that concludes the lesson.